Hello and welcome to the Car Care channel. In today's video, I want to share with you some Toyota and Lexus models that are trending a little bit south. Some of these models we may have reviewed in the past. Things were good so far, but I want to give you some update on some new problems developing because things are, not great. Let's put it this way. Let's get started in the video and we'll talk about them in detail. The first model is the Lexus LS, and some folks will really dislike this section. I've warned you multiple times over multiple videos about the Lexus LS 460, like the one sitting right behind me here. Specifically 2007, 2009, if you really want to play it safe, go all the way to 14, anything 14 and up, we're good. But now I want to kind of be more specific about it. See, the LS 460, compared to its rivals from other manufacturers, it's actually a very reliable car. But that doesn't mean that it is among the Lexus family. It is a reliable car, especially when you go buy that cheap one on Facebook Marketplace for a few $1,000 and wow, I bought all this car for $3,000-$4,000. That's a terrible mistake. I was going to warn you about that. Here's what you're going to have with an LS 460 that's going to slowly bankrupt you until you get fed up and move on. Suspension will completely fall apart, and as you fix the suspension and finally get past that repair-wise, the ABS actuator will go out. Then as you fix that, the coolant will start leaking from the engine, then the injectors, then the chain will start rattling, then the oil leaks, then the torque converter shutter, and it just keeps going on and on and on, and then the window motors and the door locks, and it just never ends. You need to understand one thing about these cars. If you buy one, you need to know that this is not a car that will cost the repair of what you paid for it. It's going to cost a lot more. These cars were very expensive back in the day, and in my humble opinion, and owners will disagree, and that's okay, that was a step down in the LS. That marked the beginning of the end of the Lexus LS, because right now they're not selling a lot of them. It was because of that. They tried to make it a German car. But wait, that's not actually the model I'm referring to. We talked about the LS 460. I think we have over-talked about it, and at this point, I hope the message have come across. But the Lexus LS model that I'd like to discuss in this video is a specific one that is actually worse than the LS 460. The LS 600 hybrid. Let me just start by saying it is one of the most beautiful, biggest leaps in hybrid technology that Toyota and Lexus have made. It is such a beautiful car. Back in the day, though, it was the most expensive LS. It was the most exclusive. They were very rare, and they are just beautiful. To read about them on the internet, don't go buy one today. That's all I'll tell you. Here's the problem with the LS600. To date, we have serviced a lot of LS600s. To date, I am yet to see one in good condition and yet to see one that is not ready to bankrupt the owners. That's the problem. And usually the folks that seek them out, they know exactly what they are, but they still seek them out. So I wanted to warn you about them because they are basically a disaster waiting to happen. First, even dealerships are not very familiar with them because the first 10 years of their life, they're super reliable. There isn't much going on with them. They're so rare that you don't see a lot of them. But now, you go buy one with over 100,000 miles, you're kind of on your own. That's all I'll tell you. Because they have the same problems as the LS 460 with suspension and whatnot. But then they add a lot more to that. Did you know that the LS600 actually does not have a 4.6 liter V8? It has a 2UR. It has a 5 liter V8. So it's slightly different than the regular 460. And then the hybrid system. It is such an experimental. And at the time, this was kind of like a showdown of what we can do with hybrids. But it's all obsolete technology today. If the battery goes out, which they do tend to do that, you will be very sorry you bought this car. So how about this? Let's make a deal. Let's shake hands. As much as you like an LS600, because they're beautiful. I mean, there cannot be a more beautiful car in Lexus and Toyota land than that one. Just look at it, admire it, and walk away and go. If you really want an LS, Buy an LS460 if you must. LS430, you're probably better off reliability-wise. But avoid the 600s. And if you own a 600 right now and you disagree, I'm glad things are going well. But unfortunately, today, buying a used one, it's very difficult. Because if you own an LS600 today and you love it, it's been a great car, is it for sale? Likely not. That's the problem. LS600 owners will not sell their car until it's ready to bankrupt them. And if you go buy that one, it's going to bankrupt you too. Be careful with LS600s. It's not a car that is a luxury car on the cheap. Don't do that. Bad idea. Trust me. And just like the LS600, this next model is going to upset a lot of folks. GS450H, another experimental car. This one is truly beautiful. I mean, this one I understand why folks buy it. That generation is so beautiful, so well put together. It just, yeah. But the problem is, their prices are not exactly high. And see, when a luxury car depreciates so bad, there's a reason for it. Because you look at prices of GS450H and the GS350, which is technically a lesser car, they're not on par. There's a very good reason for that. Whenever you look at a luxury car that it's too cheap, you should be on high alert because there's a reason it is too cheap, meaning it's a disaster. GS450H is not a good model to buy in 2025, folks. Just simply put. And again, if you own one and you disagree, is yours for sale? That's the problem. I see so many GS450H come to the shop, not well maintained, ready to bankrupt the owner. If it's not the oil leaks, it's the hybrid battery, it's some weird electrical gremlins, VVTi gears. It just keeps going and going and going. If you are into a GS, you want to buy a GS, just buy a 350. Definitely avoid a 300. Buy a 350. You're not going to have issues. Buy one that's well maintained, which that's in itself is a difficult for some reason. Good examples are not abundant of the GS that are in good shape. The newer ones, yes, but older generations, no. So be careful. Avoid the GS450, folks. You're not going to be sorry you avoided it. Trust me. Now that we got the two, in my book, disasters out of the way, let's talk about a more very kind of common car that you're going to run into. 2016 and 2017, if you really want to play it safe, even 18, Toyota Tacoma. See, the uproar when Toyota moved away from the V6 into a four-cylinder turbo. I mean, folks are really upset about that. But you know what the bottom line is? Not entirely. I would not be too upset. Because these 3 years, more 16, 17, they are having a trend that is very alarming. For no reason, and this is now within the last 6 months, this is truck number 4 that does that. For no reason, always on the passenger side bank, middle cylinder, they love to destroy the cylinder wall for no reason. Truck runs perfect, all of a sudden, it either starts knocking or starts burning oil at an alarming rate. Owner took care of it, low mileage, high mileage, does not matter. They just start doing that. I've never seen a 19 and up do that. Very rare. Usually from neglect. We've had one time a 19 Tacoma TRD Pro, a blue one. That was because of neglect from a previous owner. But 16 and 17, we have one in the shop right now, getting an entire engine replaced because of that mysterious problem. All of a sudden, they have an imbalanced code. And first, it was cylinder head, like valve seat problems, then cylinder head casting problems, then cylinder head plugs, the oil galley plugs that leak. Okay, well, that's early stuff. But now we're starting to see this problem. Unexplainable. I ran every single possible theory why that happens and what's causing it so we can avoid it. Nothing. I thought it was leaky injector. That's not the case. We thought bad maintenance. We've had one recently that proved otherwise. Not the case. Beautiful car, less than 60,000 miles, knocking. Borescope inside the cylinder, horrible. Exact same spot. When I see 20 cars, the exact same year, with the exact same engine, with the exact same failure point, that starts to establish a pattern. And I see this pattern a lot. Be very careful with these, and you're going to notice 16 and 17 models usually are cheaper than the rest. Not because they're older, but because folks are starting to pay attention, and you don't want to go buy one just because, oh, this one is a better deal, it's exactly the same truck. It's not. Be careful. Let's talk about the 8-speed transmission problems that are just beyond me, why they are still a problem. Let's go back to my dealership days, 2017. 2016 and 17 was not good years at the dealership. I'm just going to say it because of the Tacoma we just talked about, and now the 8-speed transmission came out in 2017 Highlander. They had all kinds of problems, whining, grinding, all kinds of disasters. It was the first year for that 8-speed in a Sienna and the Highlander. They issued multiple updates, and then they changed the transmission design. Things were fixed, and we were very happy. 2018, late 2018 and 19, great. 2020 Highlander came out, great. Well, now it's not great. There is a problem with the 8-speed again. They say it's only 2021. I'm seeing 2020 to 2022. Whining noise, and it happens very early mileage, usually around 60,000 miles. That's the most common car I see with that. I've seen Camrys, I've seen a single Avalon, but it seems like majority of them are the 2020 to 2022 Highlander. The problem is, there's a technical service bulletin for it. It's public, you can find it on NHTSA's website, but the problem starts as such. Everything shifts perfectly fine. Starts whining, very faint whining, goes away as soon as you let go of the accelerator, it goes away. Then it gets louder and louder and louder, and then it starts grinding. It's actually not the transmission making the noise, it's the final drive. Let me just remember what that reminds me of. That is exactly the same problem with the 2017 Highlander Toyota. What happened there? Why are we back to the same problem? Heads up, folks, if you own a 2020, 2022 Highlander, please consider an extended warranty, because it seems like they are every week I'm getting 2 or 3 of them. And as you go out of warranty, it's really up to the manufacturer if they want to honor something or if you have something going on. But you go out of 60,000 miles, they might not cover it. And these transmissions, first, they're in back order, of course, because there's a problem. Second, they are extremely expensive. I mean, folks are paying $7,000 and $8,000 for a transmission on a relatively new car. Here's my wish. I wish Toyota would do things right like they did back in 2017. Protect folks, because this is a problem that is coming back. Be careful with these. And if you already have one, don't panic. Try to inquire into an extended warranty for peace of mind in case you have the issue. If you're looking to buy one, though, here's my recommendation. Because Highlander is a really good car. It's a great family car. Prices are very high. Buy a hybrid. That's all I'll tell you. Hybrid Highlander owners, 2020 to 2022. What problems? They have no problems. Because the ECVT that everybody really dislikes, which is solid, they have no issues. We actually have a Highlander here that comes to the shop, Highlander Hybrid, has over 300,000 miles. It's a 21, it's a Courier. Runs perfectly fine. You wouldn't be able to tell that it has 300,000 miles. If you want to play it safe, you're buying one today, Highlander, and you're buying a used one, buy a hybrid. Even 23, even 24, even 25. Because 23 and up has the turbo engine. If you don't want to deal with that, just buy a hybrid. We don't have a turbo, has an 825A, pretty proven engine. We don't have problems, but be aware of the whining transmission problems. I really hope Toyota would do something about it, because here we are again. Feel like deja vu all over again from 2017. So obviously that problem was not solved, or something else is going on. And this one is kind of going to tug a string at my heart, but truth have to be said. Toyota Tundra with a new engine. You got to be careful with this one. In case the roar of the community have not reached out to folks. They have a problem with the new V6. Not going to get into the details of it. There's a recall on some of them to replace the entire engine. It's a pretty bold move, which I really respect, but not all of them. Reports, again, scattered reports all over the internet that cars that are outside the recall range are also having issues. Here's what I would put it. If you're looking to buy a 2022 to 2020, I'm not going to say 25, let's play safe and say 24. If you're looking to 22 to 24 used one, definitely buy an extended warranty. Not just for the engine, but they do have a lot of things. Knobs falling off, seat cover falling off, rattles and problems and electrical grumblings and all kinds of other stuff. You know what the best part is? I own a 2024 Toyota Tundra hybrid. It's actually the limited edition 1794 whatnot. I love that truck. It's a great truck, and that's what's going to get you in it. You go drive the old one, which has a V8. Okay, it's nice. You go drive the new one, it's like, wow, this drives a lot better, and it does. That's why I bought mine. I love it, but there's a lot of quality issues. They're really not changing. 2022, I will never forget this. We went to an event. I talked to one of the design engineers of the Tundra. I told him the quality is very low. Well, we're gonna change things as we go. Well, that didn't happen because I own a 24 and it has a lot of squeaks, and every day there's something new rattling, and I am too busy to work on my new car, so the louder it rattles, the louder I raise the radio. It just is. It's never ending. It's a truck. They're gonna rattle, but it's a bit much. Talking back to the engine. If you're gonna buy a hybrid, that's not covered under the recall, because hybrids, you can still drive it for a short period of time. Here's what I would do. Buy an extended warranty. Find a good one through a dealership, especially if you're gonna buy a hybrid, because hybrids are not covered apparently. Look, I own one of these trucks. I love the thing. Drives great. Does its function proper. I really actually like the engine too. Power and the torque that it has, great. But buy some peace of mind, because it's unknown if there's going to be another iteration of the recall, or is that it, or what's going on, but there is an active issue with the engine. If you have an extended warranty, well, you're fine. You're covered, at least until we figure out if they're going to extend the recall, do something else. Unknown what's going to happen, but there are problems with the Tundra engine, folks, and that's not just the Tundra, by the way. Sequoia, although not as loud as the Tundra, LS 500, we're starting to see some reports with that same engine, the V35A. The GX550, very few, but still possible. The LX 600, definitely, and the LX 700. You buy any of these cars, beautiful cars, extended warranty. You will not be sorry. And you might notice slowly that their extended warranty prices will start rising because of that. There's one engine failure that happens in an extended warranty, price is going to go up for extended warranty. That's how extended warranties work. And I get it, it's a business. But these models, be careful. That engine does have issues, and you're going to want to cover yourself, because they're really beautiful cars, but yeah, the engine is having a problem. And before we wrap up this video, I want to end it on a positive note, because I'm just not a negative person. I feel like this video has been all negative. Let's talk about some models that are actual standouts. I mean, the things are solid. Just like the old days, folks say quality of cars have gotten down and everything, and in some cases they have. But there's some models that are just solid. There's nothing. There are a few highlights, that total hidden gems that I'd like you to be aware of. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, the current generation, before the 26 comes up, the hybrid model. I was going to say that Toyota quietly, with the hybrid, majority of the hybrid models, they haven't really been having a lot of issues. I mean, the Corolla Hybrid, it's such a solid car, basic car, down to earth, nothing fancy or anything. The Corolla Hybrid is probably the top of the list. It's even better than the non-hybrid, flat out. Then the Camry Hybrid, again, solid car. Then the last generation. You go look at a 2019. Let's say the 18 was first year. 2019 to 24 Camry Hybrid. That's a solid car. I'd actually take that over a non-hybrid Camry, because the non-hybrid Camry has an 8-speed, and they had a few issues. We've seen some cases of issues with the Camry with the 8-speed, as we talked about, but the hybrid, nothing. Solid, just like the old days. Then the Venza. I don't know why they discontinued the Venza. In my book, it's a hidden gem. It's a Lexus for Toyota price. You go find one used these days, if it's in good shape. They're solid. They don't have a lot of issues. Biggest issue with the Toyota Venza, center console will break. Typical thing. And then that fancy Stargaze sunroof might go out. Hardly the end of the world. But mechanical wise, nothing. Just maintain the thing and it'll run and run and run. You put a lot of miles. I have to say that starting like late 2010s, like 2017, 18 and up, hybrids have been in such a good streak. I mean, I really struggle to find one model that I tell you to avoid with the later hybrids. They're solid. That's the truth, folks. It has come a point. You remember when hybrids first came out, nobody wanted them. Everybody was like, it's too complicated, experimental, I don't want this. We've come to that point where they're actually more reliable than their gasoline counterparts. Hence why Toyota is slowly switching out of gasoline models. I get it. They're better. The transmission is better. The engine is less stressed. Things are better. They're more reliable cars. I mean, isn't that the reason we are buying Toyotas? For their reliability? And when it's not reliable, people get very upset. See, there's a common thing. Something, I'm just going to come off the subject a little bit. There's a common thing that folks will really get upset at Toyota when their cars have problems. But other manufacturers have problems? Nobody says anything. I understand that, because the principal reason why you chose a Toyota over everybody else is reliability. When we don't have that, that's a big problem. But hybrids, 2025, buying a used hybrid, don't go too old. Say 2017 and up. They are really solid these days, folks. And especially like the Corolla hybrid, one of my favorite cars. Every time it comes in the shop, I've never seen a problem with one. Maintenance, even with high mileage, nothing else. No leaks, no problems, no issues. You maintain them, you take care of them, they take care of you. Kind of a car that blends in the background and you never have problems with it, just like the old days. Actually, in my book, more reliable than the old days, because they don't have as many things as the old days. That's the reality, folks. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you learned something new. If you like it, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some other videos. Until the next video, folks, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.